Alright. So, what I'll be looking for, Black Hexagon, when we do this review, is I'm going to be looking at how you got poured in this game. Because when you're playing Graves, you're early to mid... Okay. When you're playing any kind of gun carry hero, whether it's Graves, whether it's Wraith, whether it's Mirage, whether it's Infernus, it doesn't matter, right? Your early to mid game is very important. And what concerned me the most about looking at your match stats is the fact that you didn't really have anything. You know what I mean? Like, you didn't have any damage, you didn't have any souls. Like, how did that happen, right? And that's what we're going to look at mainly. Like, you might be struggling with fighting and all that stuff, but I'm curious to see how you ended up in that position to begin with. So, we'll be looking at that first. So, let's go ahead and get started here. Plan leader, bro. Leader. And also, another thing that I don't like, Black Hexagon, about your VOD here is there's no kills. At this point in the game, there's not a single kill that you get. From minute 1 to minute 26, 25, there's no kills. Is this a problem? Not necessarily, but when we think about it in the context of like, okay, well, why did you have no souls and no nothing? This is important. Now, I understand Graves as a hero takes a lot of time to get online. You're realistically not going to be able to secure kills as efficiently as, I mean, let's look at some hero here. As efficiently as Drifter. Oh, this guy fed his fucking ass off. As efficiently as Abrams. Okay, this guy had no kills. As efficiently as Pocket? Okay, yeah, Pocket had a lot of kills. So we see these guys are just like, oh my god, disgusting. But, yeah, so... Here, this guy has a lot of kills. So, I mean, I know for Graves it's hard, but like, oh, we're good. For Graves it's harder to get kills, right? But you still can, so we'll watch. What rank is this? This is Ascendant. So yeah, so far so good. I'm the Drifter. Are you actually? Okay. All right, buddy. Nice. Take out. Ooh.
I can get something new.
Alright, this is a problem here. Simply, okay. When you weigh the amount you lost versus the amount you gained, it's basically nothing. But Hexy, you can't do that. When you run boxes when wave is in play, that is something that someone that isn't playing a core needs to do. You are playing someone that's very reliant on farm. You need these waves. The waves is your best income source. If it so happened that your Vindicta decided to just like take a shit all over the place, she would have cleared that whole entire wave and you would have been left with like 2 boxes and she would have got the whole wave. And now you're down a wave as Graves. Basically the equivalent of dying. So that is no bueno. Does that make sense? Hexy? Any questions? Bugachi's working on 50 or so chapters? Yeah. I saw that. When are they coming? Do you know when they're coming, Regen? They missed a whole wave? No. They didn't miss the whole wave. They could have. They missed 1 minion. I thought about it. Since Abrams and Pocket would probably push, I would get to Sinners. Wait, I would get to... What is that word? Boxes. Boxes until wave crash the tower, but yeah, that makes sense. So that's a big thing. That right there is an assumption you're making. Assumptions in Deadlock usually lead to bad things happening unless you're fairly certain that the assumption will occur. Assumptions, in my opinion, can only be made in a It's okay to make assumptions when you're versing players that you already know and or versing teams that you already know. What's up, Kato? I would say besides that, assumptions in general you should avoid making. I would say that assumptions in general you should avoid making. Keep going here, chat. This looks good so far. No complaints. The only thing I'm wishing you're doing, Hexy, is I'm wishing you're taking the tier 1 camp when you have prio. You should know... Okay. Is it impossible to kill a Pocket Abrams? It's not necessarily impossible to kill a Pocket Abrams, but Abrams has huge sustain through his 3. Pocket, in theory, should never die in Deadlock, well, that's crazy to say. Should never die early on because people don't have Silence Wave, and if he's smart with his abilities, he wouldn't be able to die. I want you to try to, or you should have tried taking your tier 3 here. Or not tier 3, tier 1 camp. The fact that you don't take your tier 1 camp after the wave shove, especially on a hero like Graves, is no bueno. I think you take it here, though. But the issue here is that now it coincides with the wave shove. Or the wave crashing. But they're shoving now, so you're lucky. You end up taking the whole thing. Let's keep going. Yeah. That's a big thing, though, guys. A big thing to remember when you're playing, like, games of Deadlock is to consider the lane that you're versing. In a lane, let's say Hexy, they now have Rune Prow. Yeah, that's also another consideration for that right there. But when you're... I mean, Rune Prow is important and stuff, but it's not... It is pretty important, but... The point of what I'm trying to say here, though, at least, is... When you're versing a lane in Deadlock, you need to consider the heroes you're versing. If you don't consider them deep enough, you'll end up making decisions that just don't work against them. So, for example, Hexy could completely have... Hexy is fine to push and pressure the enemy under their Guardian if they're playing something like, I don't know, some junk like fucking... Let me just think, like, what's junk? Like, fucking... What, like... Vindicta and, like... Haze? Some shit like that, I don't know, fucking squishy shit. When you're versing a lane that has, like, regen... And then invulnerability, invincibility, it's impossible to kill. Yeah. It's junk. Yeah, I don't know. It could be anything realistically. Keep watching. And if anyone has any questions about anything that they're seeing or anything just in general, feel free to ask, guys. Listen, we can talk about other things during the VOD review. Don't mind. See, but Hexy, do you understand what I mean when I say you're not securing your early to mid-game lead? You're not taking any jungle, you're not taking the boxes that often. You were pretty good at the tier 1s. I'll give you that. You're pretty good at the tier 1s. But even here with the tier 2s, you're not considering the fact that we're reversing Abrams' pocket and you're not going to take jungle. Yeah. Well, it's not passive. It's not passive. The thing is not passive. You're actually aggressive because what you're doing is every time, like, okay, let's say we have... I don't know, like, wave shove. I don't know why I need to write this out. You are being aggro when you wave shove. When instead, we need to be passive. Because of these guys, this. The lane itself is not passive that you're in. The lane is hard to do anything in. What do I mean by hard to do anything in? Abrams has regen. Abrams has Infernal Resilience. Pocket has a lot of mobility, right? You are Graves. You're a hero that does not have the best early to mid game in the world. The only reason that your early to mid game is pretty decent is because one of your skulls and two of Resto Shot on Graves. Besides that, your early to mid game is shit, especially without your ultimate. So and especially as Gun Graves, right? So what must we do in this lane? We must default to making decisions that increase our economy because we know that we can't interact with these heroes that much. So it's not a matter of you being passive. If you were passive, you'd be farming jungle. It's a matter of that you're defaulting to being aggressive in a lane in which you can't be aggressive into. So I want you to think about this, actually. This is actually... I understand there is downtime. I don't have a wave pushing, so I can take jungle or boxes. Yep, perfect. Okay, Hexy. Sweet, sweet. Just making sure. Sorry if I'm being, like, over annoying or anything like that. I'm just making sure that you get it and stuff like that. Anyways, with this here, something you typed something important in the chat. You said that my Vindicta is roaming here, so I'm just focusing on the wave. Now, this, in my opinion, is not communication text is slow. You're fine. You're fine. How should he path that tier 2 camp? If you're talking about this one here, Hexy would just go to the right simply. Just like go in that direction when they have the shove. With this here, what you do, Hexy, I don't necessarily really like what you said, where it's like, well, Vindicta is roaming, so I focus on wave. I want you to think about from the perspective. I'll ask you this question, right? Think about it from the perspective of the enemies, right? No. I don't want to do Discord VC. I'm not doing that. Think about it from the perspective of the enemies, right? When the Vindicta shows on the map, which she should, when is Vindicta showing? Oh, here it is. When Vindicta shows on the map here, Hexy, right? No, it's fine. It's fine. But when Vindicta shows on the map, Okay, okay, okay. When Vindicta shows on the right side here of the map, what do you think the intentions are of this dual lane, Hexy? Ask me that, or answer me that rather. Isn't it a bit dangerous to take that tier 2? This tier 2 here, after Hexy gets a shove? No, because she has shove. Because she has shove under the Guardian, right, and wave shove, the enemies must address the wave first before they take the, before they go invade the jungle, right? Or counter invade, as you call it. No, you're good, Hexy, you're good. The Abrams pocket would probably roam or invade our jungle. True. True. But I want to go back to what you said. You said that you probably want to focus on wave because Vindicta is not here. Now, when Abrams and Pocket see Vindicta here on the right, you know what I'm thinking? Me? You know what I'm thinking? If I'm Abrams, I'm like, yo, we're gonna fucking kill this Graves. We're gonna take this Graves and fucking smash her into the wall and kill her. That's what I'm thinking. So when you say it like that, where it's like, well, I'm here to catch the wave because Vindicta is roaming. Yeah. And you walk up like this on the wave? Let me tell you this. You're dead. You're dead. Right here, E6 lobby, dead. Gone. And now, this is really important because it plays into, like, securing our early game lead as a carry character, right? Securing our early game lead, not throwing the early game, playing safe in the early game. This is, like, standard discipline stuff, and this is something that could, you may not die here, which you don't, I don't think. Right, you don't die here, but if you were versing, in my opinion, like, more capable players that would actually, like, recognize that Vindicta's roaming and do something with it as a result, you would have died. I mean, once again, I feel like the same exact thing is kind of happening. This is a Senate 3. This is the same exact thing is kind of happening. Once again, we have Prio, and we are defaulting to fighting Abrams. Is it fine to fight Abrams? Yeah, if you want to, it's fine. But, like, think about the lane you're playing. Think about the hero you're playing, and think about what's on the map right now. It's 8 minutes. Sinners have just spawned across the whole entire map. Let's use our Prio to invade their Sinners, right? Instead of pressure the Abrams. I know you kind of just ran into him here a little bit, but, I mean, you knew Abrams was here. You know what I mean? Like, you knew he was here. You know? So, like, once again, we're making an active decision to pressure instead of fight. Which actually ends up getting us killed. Take a look. No, it's just like, oh, it's just all like, I'm not saying this is bad, but this is all just like junk. This stuff doesn't matter. Like, we could legit skip past this. This doesn't matter. It actually doesn't matter. What matters most, the key important thing here to take away is this action here. I'll show you right here. Right at the moment, this is the mistake that occurs. Right about here. This is it. This is what leads to everything else. The affliction, the shooting, the bridge, all that doesn't matter. What matters is this. This right here. So, once again, I'll say the exact same thing, Hexy. I think your problem is that you're not prioritizing securing your lead in the early to mid game. That's great. Yeah. I don't think any of this stuff is, like, horrendous or bad or oh my god. This is just... I'm looking at this and I'm like... I'm like a doctor, and you're walking in with like a little scratch. And, like, you know, you're walking in with, like, a scratch and like, is this flesh eating? Well, you're not saying that, but you know, it's like, is this flesh eating bacteria? And I'm like, no, it's a scratch. You're fine. So like, I think you're chilling, to be honest. Taking this jungle and everything is fantastic and it's awesome sauce, but you're a little homeless. And yeah, this is kind of where matchmaking becomes a little unfortunate, right? Because some games, you know, you might have 6 heroes that want a side lane, and then 2 heroes that, you know, want a side lane as well, and you have like 5 heroes that want a side lane, and you're just homeless, right? So some games you'll be homeless, some games you won't be homeless. It really just comes down to how hard you want to fight your team for that side lane. You know what I mean? You just gotta be like, yo guys, I'm fucking homeless as Graves, give me a side lane. I need to fucking eat. Now, is it bad that you're taking the jungle? I don't think it's necessarily bad that you're taking the jungle, but the amount of souls you'd be getting could be way more, I think, if you were just able to take a lane for yourself. and also grab the jungle alongside that. So, right? And keep in mind, for everyone that's watching this, we're viewing this through the context of Graves. And what is Gungraves? Gungraves is a weak, early to mid scaling character. And Hexy, I'm starting to get very worried about his death here. I hope that this bag that you have, nothing bad happens to it. Oh no. Yeah, so at that point, you know, essentially, yeah, that's pretty bad. It's very unfortunate. Yeah, that's pain. At that point, Hexy, if I were you in this game, I would say, like, at that point, my game was over. How I kind of view it when I play carry heroes like Geist or whoever is I'm kind of, like, pretty harsh with how I approach, like, my my gameplay in hindsight, and, like, I have very high standards. At that point, it's unrecoverable. It's unrecoverable for me at that point. Now, there is a world in which we can bring things back, but like, if we're if you were watching this game in hindsight, it would be at this moment. It's like, you know, in chess, it's like when you're watching the chess review videos, and it's like, at this moment, Carl Magnusson, FF'd. Like, it's like that, you know. But we can keep going. Sure, we can keep going. Is essentially needs the intention of remaining in the side lane and staying in the side lane after the team picks up the urn. So we go here on the right. Just grab this wave. Now you farm back camps instead of chasing. Yeah, exactly. So the issue there isn't like, oh, well, during the fight you need to go into a side lane. It's before any of that stuff even happens. Okay, let's go back to what I was saying. So the stakes, right? Stakes. The reason, Hexy, that farming earlier, like the way I'm mentioning to you, is important and not farming it late. The reason that you need to farm earlier and not now is because, listen, I want you to think, Hexy, in this game, there is a fucking nuclear bomb, okay? There is a fucking nuclear bomb in the middle of the map, and it's the first person to fuck up makes the nuclear bomb explode. And what I'm referring to is essentially mid-boss, okay? I'm gonna run a quick snooze ad here, and then I'm gonna run an ad after this conversation. If your team makes a mistake and they fuck up, it's done. They go mid, the game is over. Is it actually over in Ascendant? Probably not. Is it over at E6? Yeah, it's pretty fucking buns. It's done, right? So like when you're spending time farming in the mid to late game, there's a chance that you won't be able to be here for the fight, and you'll miss the mid boss fight. In the early to mid game, like 20 minutes before, like 12, 13 minutes, 14 minutes, when you're farming, the nuclear bomb isn't gonna explode. The nuclear bomb is like too young. They haven't developed uranium yet. You know what I mean? So that's why it's so important early to mid game to have a good start, because you might not get the opportunity, because if mid boss fight happens, you're gonna be what, in the side lane catching up from your 12 minute deaths, you know what I mean? You need to be ready 20 minutes for that fight. If you're not ready and they go mid boss, done. It's fucking done, though. I know what you mean, Jellybean. Thank you. Appreciate it. Alright, let's go. Bro, what is your Lash doing? Moment of silence for Billy. Got parried twice. That's what I'm saying, by the way. That's what I'm saying. That stuff happens in every single VOD review I do. Someone just types something outrageous. The nuclear bomb is detonated. So now, after the nuclear bomb detonates for either side, we go back, Black Hexy, into a state in which we can farm, secure our camps without much worry. I mean, right now there is some worry because you have rejuve and you need to look to make plays, but now we're like, whew, everything's good, we're chilling, diffusal, situation, all that stuff. Hexy, how you feeling? What are your thoughts? Anything confusing to you? I feel like the issues that you're struggling with and whatnot are pretty clear. I am feeling this is very clear in case of farm early, don't bother with impossible odds, and position better. Econ tempo. I'm feeling good. Sweet. Beautiful, wonderful. Sorry, all the alternate... No worries. What's up, Strong? I see you, Strong. a good pair. Sure. You guys should be running this urn, to be honest. This urn not being ran is very not good. Very, very not good. Runner. Because we have rejuve. Look at the rejuve. Rejuvenator. A rejuvenator. So yeah, here, I mean, mistake goes back to the urn. I mean, I shouldn't run this slash should. Yeah, not you, right? But still, though, with this and this goes back to your positioning in a way. Look at how you're positioned when the urn is in play. Or not urn is in play. It should be in play right now. But, like, you should be, like... Look. You kill them all. You take the walker. Reset. Go urn. This is what I call the play after the play as well. Right now, what you're doing is you're making the play after the play. What does the play after the play mean? The play after the play is essentially each time you make a play, you gain gold, you expend resources, you do things. Look at these guys. This guy, low, 3k. This guy, low, 6k. This guy, pretty alright, but 4k. This guy is also in base healing. So right now you're doing the play after the play. What we need to do? Yes, you need to go refill your car. Yes, go refill your car with gasoline. How do we recognize that we are making the play after the play? Let's go back here, and this is how we recognize it. We're fighting. We fight Abraham. Okay, we're fighting. Fight. Everyone's fighting. So last this, boom, fighting. Oh my god, ult. Oh my god. Oh, we're taking Walker. Play two. Holy shit. Walker down. Alright, and that's how we recognize, right? So many things happening, so many things fighting. Hexy, you really need healing beam in Ascendant. I don't know if I agree with that comment. Yeah, there's two ways to make this push not happen. Earn, play after play. Whatever way you want to use Hexy to not reach this conclusion in this game, or to not do what you do in this game, whatever you want is fine. This death is actually very bad, because this allows the enemy team to fight Earn 5v6. Do they fight it? They don't fight it because the enemy team is bronze, but... Nuclear bomb is diffused. Nuclear bomb is all chill. We can just burger out. We're doing some fighting. This is good. Cool fighting. Ooh. What happens here? Do we have spear resist? We do have spear resist. We have 18 of it. How are we dying? Come on.
Okay.
What even happens? What leads to this occurring? Let's go back and analyze. One. 2. 3. 4. Essentially the issue here, XC, is I think you're not using your stamina resource well, and I think you're positioning a little too close in this fight before your Haze and Kelvin arrive. If doing less does more, if simply here you wait for your Kelvin and Haze to arrive, why are your Kelvin and Haze important? Well, your Kelvin has the frozen shelter of safety and rejuvenation. And then your Haze is legit a Hitler level threat. You know, unstoppable, ricochet, all these items will kill everyone in the whole entire enemy team. All you have to do is simply wait for your resources to arrive, and then you trade your HP. Because right now here, sure, you die, sure, you use resources, whatever. But the issue here is you're taking damage, and nothing is happening to the enemy team.
Okay.
Optimally, whenever you take damage as any hero, realistically, there's something occurring. The thing is too, your pieces aren't even on the board. This guy's not on the board, and this guy's not on the board. When we have control of the urn, we decide when we want to walk up, we have our economy, all we gotta do is just wait. Sure, it's not the worst given they use Celestial, however, still though, like, you're just kind of like dying and trading your health without anyone there to trade it for you and shit. You have no haste, no Kelvin. And now it's like, this is such a bad fight. This fight could be just game losing. Now, does Haze probably kill everyone? Yes. Haze legit murders everyone. God bless Haze. If you watched the Poshypop video. But, like, it could have been so bad. That could have been just, like, legit game losing from that situation there. I don't have any other questions, other than if you have any build suggestions for Graves. I mean, realistically, I think your build looks fine. To be honest, I'm kind of a noob when it comes to gun Graves, but the only suggestion I would have is perhaps investigating Tesla bullets over Cultist? Like that.
Good game. Well played.
Good job.
I think you did fine. So, do you feel like you have good enough takeaways though, Hexy? Do you feel like you need me to like reiterate anything, or how you feeling? I assume you're feeling good, and like you said, you have no questions or anything like that. So, thank you for guidance. I'm feeling good. Sweet, cool. All right, and that will be it. We're done. We're done with the VOD review. No more VOD review. Thank you for the 5 gifted as well, Hexy. Appreciate it. And I mean, everyone learned a lot from that. I hope you guys all learned a lot. So I think now we just switch over some Deadlock.